All right, remote learners, this is Dr. Shivers. I am here with Mr. Cisneros' class. We are going to share a holiday book called The Giant Pumpkin. It is one that's really special to me because I have a friend who grows these giant pumpkins. I'll show you really quickly some of his pictures. So this is my buddy. He lives in Westmoreland. He works at K-State and he grows these giant pumpkins. He has an entire greenhouse just for 2 of those things. It's incredible. So this is one of the pumpkins and this is the other pumpkin. He has set the record in the state of Kansas the past 3 years for having the largest pumpkins. So he's not in this book, but it's one we want to share about. So the title is called Giant Pumpkins. It's by Gabriel Fabrias, and we're going to start here on page 4. Vince, you ready to start us off?
Sure. Have you ever seen a giant pumpkin? One so big it would not fit in a car? People all over the world have taken up the hobby of growing giant pumpkins. Growers compete against another hopping to break the record for the world's biggest pumpkin. In 2013, Tim Matheson from Nape, California, won the title with a pumpkin that weighed 2,032 pounds, 922 kilograms. That's how much the walrus or a small car weighs. The gigantic squash measured more than 17 feet, 5.2 meters around.
Great job. Here's a picture of Tim with his giant pumpkin that he grew. Pretty impressive.
Oh my
Here's
goodness.
our next page. We're going to read about the world's largest pumpkins.
Okay.
Tim grew 3 giant pumpkins over 6 months in 2013. His pumpkin set the world record for the first, third, and fourth largest pumpkin ever grown. A 57-year-old Tim has won more than $50,000 in prizes for his pumpkins. He showed his record-breaking pumpkin to the world on a national television show.
Tim's daughter, Tara, cannot walk or talk because of a rare medical problem. Tara joined her dad in the pumpkin patch every evening. "She is my inspiration," Tim said. "I took her out to the patch every night for 2 hours. She'd be smiling."
Awesome. So here's a picture of Tara. She spends a lot of time watching her dad work in the pumpkin patch. So, and then the next picture says that using the best seeds is an important part of growing giant pumpkins. Sometimes these seeds are so tough that they have to file them down just to try to let them sprout and grow. And then we'll see about Tim, the guy from California, and how he gets them started. You ready to read for us?
Fact.
Tim started growing giant pumpkins 7 years ago. They have gotten bigger every year, he said, using the best seeds, soil, and plant food is his secret. He is now sharing the seeds from his prize-winning pumpkins with growers all over the world. He hopes kids will grow their own giant pumpkins. It's amazing to watch the pumpkins grow. Some days they put on 53 pounds, 24 kilograms. It's a lot of fun.
Growing a winner. According to Tim, anyone can grow a giant pumpkin if they understand what pumpkins need. Pumpkin growers make sure that their soil is rich with nutrients. They use compost and other organic matter in the soil. Rich soil helps pumpkins grow quickly. Growers use seeds that are known to produce giant pumpkins. They planted them indoors in the spring. Often in April, the plants can
be hurt by cold or heat, so they must be protected.
Great job. So here's a picture of one of the areas of Tim's pumpkin patch. Sometimes they're grown in a greenhouse and sometimes they're grown just out in the open. Then this next one shows the frame that's being built to remain in place after he removed the plastic cover to protect his prize pumpkin. So here we go. We'll let Alex take it away.
Tim uses heaters to give his pumpkins a head start. In the spring of 2013, once it was warmer, the plants were moved to a sunny spot in the garden and carefully watered and fertilized. Growers fern the plants or cut away extra vines at least every other day. When the flowers appeared, they are pollinated and the pumpkins start to grow. The best pumpkin grows on a strong, healthy vines. Growers are careful not to use too many plant food. Pumpkins can grow too big and burst.
When they are the size of softballs, all the best pumpkins are cut off the vine. As a result, the plant food reaches the most perfect pumpkins. Tim spent 2 hours every morning working in his pumpkin patch. After he came home from work, he spent 2 more hours in the garden every evening. He fertilized, pruned, and cared for his 4 pumpkin plants all summer and into the fall.
Great job. So these are where they start with. The extra pumpkins are cut off, so everything goes towards these big prize winners. And then here's the weighing at Pumpkin Fest in Cooperstown, New York. So this is the heading, there can only be one.
In October, growers with the biggest pumpkins meet at the weight off around the world. It's exciting at this time. The pumpkins growers wait to see who's the biggest pumpkin for winners. The long months planting, watering, and care pay off the giant pumpkins are some of the biggest in the world.
Great work. All right, they move these things with forklifts, so you can see moving giant pumpkins around isn't easy, even when using forklifts. Let's read a little bit more about it.
Growers use forklifts and trucks to transport their pumpkins to weigh-offs. They carefully use ropes, straps, and chains to move their pumpkins. At weigh-offs, pumpkins were weighed on giant scales to see which is biggest. After the contests are over, growers have creative and delicious ways of using their pumpkins.
Good. One of those creative ways is this guy, Dimitri. He celebrates after setting the world record in 2013 as the fastest person to ever paddle 100 meters in a boat pumpkin, a pumpkin boat. Isn't that crazy? Let's read a little bit more about boat pumpkins.
Some growers in countries around the world hollow out their giant pumpkins and turn them into boats. People use paddles to race the boats. Sometimes they wear costumes during the races. A man in the United Kingdom set a new speed world record in 2013. He paddled a hollowed out giant pumpkin 100 meters, about the length of a football field, in 2 minutes.
And sometimes they use them for artwork. This is artist Russ Lino of Seattle. He carves a giant pumpkin that'll be sold to raise money for charity. Kind of a cool creation there. Will you read to us about jack-o'-lanterns? And then our next one is about giant pumpkin pie. Here's the ringmaster Vernon Bergman. He reveals the weight of the pumpkin pie that set the world record in 2010. It looks like it's 3,699 pounds. That's incredible. Will you read this one for us?
Yep. Gigantic jack-o'-lanterns. Giant pumpkins can be carved into silly or scary jack-o'-lanterns. Some carvers use power tools to create works of art. Some giant pumpkins are used to make huge pies. Growers of giant pumpkins in Ohio baked a pie that was named the world's largest in 2010. It was 20 feet, 6.1 meters wide, and weighed 3,699 pounds, 1,678 kilograms. That's a lot of pumpkin pie.
No doubt. Okay, Silas, wrap us up here. This is a girl who's standing on a giant pumpkin. They're so strong and so big. Wrap us up with page 15.
Growing giant pumpkins can be a fun way to spend time in the garden. Maybe someday you will grow the world's biggest pumpkin in your backyard.
Great job. Hey, thanks everybody for reading with us for your story time this week.